So I just had the chance to see Edgar Wright's version of The Running Man starring Glen Powell, and this movie just goes to show why Edgar Wright continues to be one of the best directors working today. This version, if you've seen the 1987 version, then you know that it kind of strays away from Stephen King's novel. However, this movie is meant to serve as a more faithful adaptation to that novel while standing its own ground, and that's exactly what this movie does. Edgar Wright obviously is one of those filmmakers that does a lot of different things. He brings quirky vibes to it. He brings some satire to it. He brings a lot of really dang great performers, and that's also no different here. The movie is very satirical, but it also does a great job, in my opinion, of reinventing Stephen King's novel. The film follows Ben Richards, and he signs up for a show called The Running Man in order to save his family. That is the whole purpose of what he does. Whereas in the 1987 version, he is recruited by Dan Killian. Arnold Schwarzenegger is recruited by Dan Killian. Here, Glen Powell is the version of Ben Richards that all he wants to do is save his family. His daughter's very sick. He wants his family to be better off in a very dystopian world where they are lowest of the low class-wise, so he signs up for The Running Man and tries to make some money for it. And from there on out, we have our story. Glen Powell, this might not be his best performance yet in his entire career. I still think that Hitman is his best performance yet, but my gosh, is he incredibly likable here. He gives us that Glen Powell charm that we all know and love. He's very sarcastic. If you've seen the trailer, you guys know that it's very over the top, it's very cheesy, and it works here wonderfully. But also, this movie does show how versatile he is as an actor, because he can go from being incredibly sarcastic and witty to being somebody who can come down to the ground and be somebody that is just a real person. That's one of the best things about this movie is that element. And Josh Brolin is fantastic as Dan Killian. I really do think that Josh Brolin is great in villain roles, and it shows that he needs to be in more villain roles. He was great as Thanos. He was great here. Michael Cera shows up here, and he is just hysterical. I love him in almost everything that I see him in. And Coleman Domingo is the game show host here. And again, this version is a bit different than the one that we see from 1987. It's more faithful to the Stephen King novel, and he too is great. The cast is great. The action scenes are fantastic. Edgar Wright, again, continues to show why he is one of the best filmmakers working today. I very much enjoyed this version of The Running Man. I think that you guys are going to enjoy it a lot too. Definitely worth seeing, and it's definitely an entertaining time at the movies. Check it out this weekend if you guys get a chance to.